is Arielle Lapiano. I am the founder of Shattered Glass Teas, a side gig that I do, and by day I am the Director of Communications and Public Relations at Paul Hastings, a global law firm. I have two absolutely fabulous, feisty little girls, Isabella, age 9, and Gianna, who is 5 but turning 6 before you know it.
Hi everybody, I'm Molly Chanson, and I own a clothing line and inspirational community for moms called Soul Ma. And my son Bennett just turned 9 and Andrew is 7.
And I'm Laura Kyttanen. I am a lifestyle blogger, and I'm also branding and marketing for Pixsweet. We turn every pixel on the internet into something sweet. Right now, custom 3D ice pops. And I have a 22-month-old Ades, and also a cat, which you'll probably see throughout this video. And so we are very excited to be with you today, Arielle. Our theme of the month is action. So I wanted to kick off with just sort of understanding a little bit behind your business, and why did you take action behind your business, your side hustle?
My side hustle, yes. Well, it actually is because of action. So I love your theme. It's very fitting. I have been itching to take action for a really long time. I'd say ever since 3 years ago, I sat in my daughter's kindergarten class to read a book and ask them questions, and saw that only the boys were raising their hands. Ever since that moment, I've been really focused on trying to figure out how I could give back and have more of an impact on my daughter's life and the lives of other little girls. And then just in this past year, I've been participating in this fabulous women's networking organization called Quorum. And I was at one of their meetings, and I was talking about mantras. I love mantras, and mantras to me help me with action. And I have this sort of silly mantra, but it's really powerful for me, which is, what would a white man do? And to me, what that means is I've seen so many white men be so action-oriented and put themselves forward for jobs and opportunities really before they were appropriate for them. And I realized, I was joking sort of around saying, I should put it on a t-shirt. And I was like, wait a second, I should put it on a t-shirt. And I decided to do just that, but I wanted to make sure that I was doing more than just selling t-shirts. So I now put fun, inspiring, powerful mottos, mantras on t-shirts and bags, and all the profits go back to two fabulous charities. And to me, that was the way that I was going to have an impact and take some action.
How did you, I don't even know this answer for myself really, but how did you get started with mantras? Like, who taught you, or how did it happen?
I probably have to first credit my mom. And my mom has been big into mantras her whole life. So she got me into mantras, I'd say, quite young. But this sort of latest round of being into mantrification would be probably because I had the benefit of going through some career coaching with this fabulous coach, Valia Gladys, who runs a company. And one of the things that we were working on was helping me with my confidence and gravitas. And she helped me to come up with some mantras. So every time I was finding myself in a place of self-doubt, I had a mantra that I would say to myself to help me feel like, wait a second, I've got this. So I'd have to credit her with the mantras. And once I saw how powerful it was for me, I started thinking about more mantras that would help me.
And then how would you suggest for people to use a mantra? So you have it, if it's on your t-shirt, if it's on your bag, or if, like, you know, I stick it on like a Post-it note and stick it around. And then what do you tell people to do with it?
I think the mantra is you have to find a way that you know there's a trigger for using it. So yeah, putting it on the t-shirt, is great. Putting it on the Post-it is great. But how does your brain know when you need to think about that? And so it's about developing an awareness with when you're sort of self-doubt, let's say for me, that's what it was being triggered. When you're maybe feeling like you should take action to think about your scene and not taking action. I think you need to get up and do something different too. So here, excuse me for a second. One of the other things I do is I play with a slinky, some toy. And again, if you look into the science, when you do something different with your body, it forces your mind to switch gears. So the first step to me, pre-montrification, is to do something different. For me, it's the slinky. I've got some, what are the fidget spinners, other things. I'm big into the toys, but it could just be as simple as getting up and striking a power pose, going for a 2-second walk, and then thinking about the mantra. And that's helped me immensely.
So you're doing this around your full-time gig, which I can imagine takes a lot. And then you also have a family and you have your own needs. So how do you look at action in all of these different areas, and where have you found, the best success in all of that?
It's hard. I'm not going to lie. First of all, it is really hard. And if there's, among the things I maybe underestimated about this venture, finding the time is the hardest thing. I try to make appointments for myself. So, trying to say, look for any time I have available to squeeze in some action. So it means I have a train ride to get to my day job. It means on that train ride, okay, that's my time for Instagram posting. On the ride back, it might be thinking about the Instagram posting for the next day. I bring my laptop with me everywhere. So again, I will take advantage of that train ride. I will take advantage of the hour on the weekend when the kids are watching something. And then I try to create as much structured time as I can for myself. But quite frankly, that's the hard part of it.
What has been the biggest failure in action around all of that? So you say that you try to fit it in and it's been sort of a work in progress, but we learn from our failures too. So if you were to give somebody advice, what would that be?
How much time do you have, Laura, for failures? Yeah. So I think the biggest failure is a really fascinating one for me because, again, my day job is as a communications and public relations professional. I'm an ex-reporter. So here I am with this job, which is all about promoting people. And I am totally an illustration of the cobbler whose children has no shoes. I have been I have a real opportunity to do a much better job of promoting myself. And that's the biggest failure, I'd say, has been realizing that I'm not bringing my own skills enough to bear to make this a success. And that is indeed, though, in terms of challenging those failures and surmounting them, that is why I'm talking to you beautiful ladies here today.
It's like a therapist needs her own therapist. I mean, we always...
You do. You know, the biggest, like I said, the biggest failure was sort of, to me, has been understanding that I need to put myself out there. Mm-hmm. And that's sort of been in my face when, let's say, I'll come across a friend and mention this, and they'll say, how come you didn't tell me you were doing this like 5 months ago? And I'm like, why haven't I? What is wrong with me? You know, and so I now try to tell everybody I know that I'm doing this. And as I said, I'm talking to you lovely ladies to start trying to promote what I'm doing, because I'm trying to give back. And the reality is that I can only be successful doing that if people are buying my shirts and bags.
I've been trying to break down the definition of action. So with a visualization, like, what's the first thing that you see when you hear the word action?
I think it is about some interaction for me. That's what it is to me. It's, at the end of the day, it's thinking about something I'm doing, talking to somebody or writing something, it's something that has some tangible outcome to it, some tangible result.
Can action be stillness?
Ooh, I love that too. It's interesting that you say that too, because one of the things that I've gotten really into over the past couple of months is meditation. And I think that the meditation has been phenomenally helpful to me. And it's exactly because of that taking a moment to pause and just allow yourself not to think, or I shouldn't say that, because the reality is that you will always think. But in that quiet, sometimes you get your best thoughts, or in that quiet, you understand what intention you want to set. So I think stillness definitely can be an action, and can be a really important action. I think that we over-engineer what meditating is or what mindfulness is. It really could be as simple as taking 4 short breaths when you're stepping out of the shower, and just allowing your brain to sort of quiet down. And that small act can actually be immensely helpful.
That goes back to what you said about finding moments to take action where you can.
Of course. Come on, we're busy moms with side hustles and other responsibilities. So yeah, I'm like a time thief.
Oh, that is great.
I think for me right now, the hardest action to take is just to be goofy and have fun. And so I was wondering if you have any tips for other lady boss mamas who struggle with the same thing. Like, how do we try to have more fun and goofiness in our lives? Because things can happen where it really takes a toll on you, or the last week has been really tough for me personally, and I'll be sharing my story soon, but it's hard to get caught up in the seriousness of life sometimes, you know? So what would you say about that? Like goofiness and playfulness and just letting go a little bit.
Well, I am like queen goofball. So, I mean, for me, you know, in terms of like my values, I say that happiness and fun are sort of up there in my top 5. So I know that when I laugh and don't take myself too seriously, or make fun of my children or my husband, that it brings me great joy. You know? So I think having fun is just absolutely critical. Again, just the same way I'd say that mindfulness can be helpful, having some fun can be helpful, and that the more that you sort of focus on other people's happiness and having fun with other people, the more ultimately you're happier. So I am laughing as much as I can, and I'm laughing throughout the day, even in my fancy corporate job at a big fancy law firm. You know, I try to laugh as much as I can here with colleagues, with the lawyers. Life is too short.
We do this every week. We interview a new lady boss mama, so please subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. And definitely also, if you have anybody to refer to us, I know you were a referral from one of our lady boss mamas, Pervy, so we love the connections. That's what this is all about. Can you say bye-bye? Can you wave bye?
Bye-bye, ladies.
Thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon.
All right.